Our sermon for First Sunday of Advent 2022. Today we celebrate the first Sunday of Advent. Our minds and hearts turn to a great time of waiting and expectation. We have to go back 3 years before we can remember a time of Advent without any restrictions from the COVID epidemic. The last two celebrations of Christmas have been muted and restrictions were in place about people visiting, going to church, work, school, travelling, etc. So now I can breathe a sigh of relief that we are free to do as we want. But there are things are not the same as they were 3 years ago. There is a war in Ukraine, started by the dictator in Russia, that has resulted in prices of basic commodities going up, a blockade on the export of grain to those parts of the world that needed it most. The cheap gas from Russia that supplied many European countries has been turned off, thus causing a rise in the price of gas and panic buying from nations worried about a cold winter. Then there is concern about global warming. We now know that things are desperate in certain parts of the world, where there is torrential rain or drought causing famine and suffering. So this is the world we live in now that welcomes the time of Advent. The first reading from Prophet Isaiah says, "They will hammer their swords into plowshares, their spears into sickles. Nation will not lift up sword against nations." We should be praying that these things could happen today as the West squares up to the global threat of war caused by the mad dictator in Russia. But then the psalm of today says, "I rejoiced when I heard them say, let us go to God's house." This is a happy psalm, rejoicing that people of God can come together in a temple in Jerusalem, the spiritual home of the Jewish people. In the Gospel today, the message is, "Stay awake, because you do not know the day when your Master is coming." You too must stand ready, because the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. This Christmas, there will be lots of hard cases throughout the world as the trouble in Ukraine causes prices to rise, and the poor people will be a little poorer, and those worried about climate warming will be more worried too.